I'm a little bit dark in my deeds. But the deeds of my ancestors, they were beautiful. I can take pride in the fact that I had the most beautiful people that I came from. Okay, I'm not so good. Amar Knesset Yisrael, the community of Israel said, Shechorani b'fnei atzmi, me, myself and I, just me, isolated from everything else, I'm a little bit dark. I'm not like perfect. You're like, what do you want from me? V'nava b'fnei koni, but I'm beautiful in the presence of my Creator. My Creator sees my goodness. I don't. That's very deep, right? Somebody else can see our goodness. That's the whole point I was making in the beginning, that we need somebody else to see who we are. And that gives us the ability. You mean I have something good in me? Nobody ever told me that. Wow. That's what these teachers do for all of us. These beautiful people here and all of us are the teachers, right? All of us. I'm just pointing to these two. The beloved Shlomo and Rav Naftali. Okay. It goes on, I'll just give 2 or 3 more examples. Shechorani b'Mitzrayim. I was really dark in Egypt. Like I did everything. I was a slave there and I fell. V'nava'ani b'Mitzrayim. But I was beautiful in Mitzrayim. I was beautiful in Egypt. And he gives verses to this effect, that even though during the exile in Egypt I fell, but at the end I came out of it and I became beautiful. Shechorani b'yam. I was dark at the sea. I complained. V'nava'ani b'yam. But I was beautiful at the yam. I said, Zeh li vanvehu. This is my God, and I will beautify him. And I will become a naveh. I will become a dwelling place for God. I got it. I am not so perfect, but I want to be a dwelling place for God. I have the potential to be. I switch myself from guilt to merit. I change the energy of my being by going into a positive state and seeing that what I thought was just a lot of darkness and a little bit of light is really so much light, and it's only a little bit of darkness. It's a change it's a paradigm shift. That's what he's teaching us about. 2 more. He gives other examples, but one of them that we want right now is for Rabbi Nachman, Shechorani b'Chorev. I was dark at Chorev, at Mount Sinai. Because it says in Psalm 106, Ya'asu egel b'Chorev, they made a golden calf in Chorev. V'nava'ani b'Chorev. But I'm beautiful at Chorev. I'm beautiful at Sinai. As it says, Kol asher diber Adonai na'aseh v'nishma. When we got it and we said, everything Hashem says, we'll go for it. This is right. We changed. We changed from the depression, from the negative, from being overwhelmed by our own insignificance and unworthiness. And we got out of that and we saw. Right, now back to Rabbi Nachman. Ki machmat shezot, second paragraph. Ki nikuda machmat shezot nikuda me'orevet b'psolet habe. Because this point of goodness, this point of godliness, is intermixed with a lot of stuff that we've done and that we've felt and we've gone through, and the things that people have done to us, and the pains and the wounds that we have. We're wounded. A lot of us are wounded, and it's like intermixed. The goodness is intermixed, and it's like we can't recognize it. We can't distinguish it. We can't get it. So it seems like she's dark. It seems like the point of goodness itself is dark. Because he is lying down in a dark place. But when you judge yourself and you do this shift, you realize you have these good points. That's when he says, Azai hi omeret shechorani b'navam. I am dark, but I am beautiful. He makes the point that the gold that we used for the golden calf, even though it wasn't the same literally, it wasn't the same gold literally, but it was gold. We made the Mishkan with gold. The very thing that I used, the energy that I used to do wrong, to go off, to become not me, is the very energy that I can use to build a Mishkan, to make myself a Mishkan for God. And he says Moses is the one who could see our good points. Top of the left column, Ki Moshe haya yachol zot limtso nekuda tova afilu b'hapachot shebepachtim. He could see the goodness in even the lowest of the low, the farthest of the far. And he now does a very special thing here, that Moshe prayed for us after the Chet HaEgel, right? Not this last Shabbos, yesterday, but the one before, 1 week before. The Chet of the golden Egel, the sin of the golden calf. Moshe says, Lama Hashem yichera apecha be'amecha. Hashem, why are you getting so mad at your people for? I mean, you're the one who set up the whole thing. It was a big test. It was very difficult. They're so good. The end of the top paragraph on the left is the last few lines. Lama Hashem yichera apecha be'amecha. Why are you getting so angry at your people? Ki hara eno nechshav klal. The bad that they did, like you build it up and you blew it up so much because of course they had prophecy on 40 days prior and they really should have come up to they should have done it, right? Okay, but they didn't, so they failed because it was really a hard test. It was the test equivalent, as I say in my new book, equivalent to the test of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. An incredible cosmic test. Everything was against them. Of course we had the chance to do it and we wanted to do it, but it was very hard. And we failed. And so Moshe is pointing out, but what you were making into a big thing, Hashem. You see, the prophet, and we learn from the prophet speaks to Hashem, like Abraham spoke about Sodom. You know, like, what if there's a few good people there? So here Moshe is saying, yeah, okay, but they're so good. You got to see how good they are. Like, don't miss out on how good they are. Even the little bit of good they have is like totally enough to push away what they just did. Second paragraph, Hashem actually said, okay, Moshe, I was waiting for you to do this, because it says in the verse, Hanichali, leave me off and I will destroy them. And Rashi says there, he wouldn't say leave me to destroy them, let me, what am I, holding you back? So it means it's a sign for me to go to activate my ability to see their good. Hashem, he's above. He's teaching us things. It's not that he wants to destroy us. He wanted to put us into a situation where we feel we're at the end, and then he brings the light in by seeing the good. Again, second line of the second paragraph. Az lamad Hashem midbar Moshe sefer tefillah v'sideh lefanav yud gimel mitot rachamim. Hashem revealed to him, Dafka, precisely after the sin of the golden calf, he revealed to Moshe, the amazing mercy and love that he has towards us. If you think about it, it's very amazing. How should we put it? We did the worst thing in the world. We did an archetypal sin. We flubbed it. And now he reveals to us that if you'll do tshuva, then I'll get you to be closer to me than if you hadn't sinned. Wow. Don't ever sin on purpose, right? That's what the Baal Shem Tov was very careful with that. He came after Shabtai Tzvi, he said, don't go there. But if you did, there's no such thing as a person in the world who only does good. We're bound to make mistakes. It's a school. This is a school of hard knocks. Whether it's subtle mistakes or gross mistakes, fine. That's part of the human condition. It's that I come back from that. Tehillim, for instance, is the book of tshuva. The first verse is, don't walk with the bad guys. Don't stand with the bad guys. Don't sit with the bad guys. Walk is one thing. Okay, standing is worse. Standing means I'm willing to hear what you say. Sitting means, I'm really interested in what you're saying. Don't stand, don't walk, and don't sit, etc. Don't go that downward spiral. The second verse is the punchline. Ki'im b'torat Hashem, ki'im b'torat Adonai cheptzo, u'b'torato yegei yom v'layla. Don't be the person who goes on the downward spiral in a world that brings you down. Rather, be the one who desires the Torah of Hashem and meditates in it day and night. It starts with a negative. It starts with the downward spiral, and then the rest of Tehillim is how to come back. That's what I meant. The Tehillim is the book of Tshuva, because the world is a world of Tshuva. The world, Hashem made it through a brokenness, through a breaking of the vessels. Everything is broken, and from the broken vessels, He builds a beautiful world, a palace. That's what He wants us to do. It's already set, programmed into the system. We can complain about it, but the purpose that He did it for is that it can be better now than if I hadn't broken. The depth of it is that the evil in the world is preparing the world for the greatest good. Try and get it. Hashem made the world so hard. The director made the movie so hard because He had a reason. Because out of this is going to come a greater closeness in eternity than we could have ever had if it hadn't been a broken world. So this point here is made that He reveals now the mercy of Hashem precisely after we screwed up. How many more minutes? 5. Okay, that's what I need to know. But, you know, give me a little orientation, and I'm on track. And so maybe even it's good for questions and for interaction. How about that? Because the main point is that we want to make this shift in our lives, and we want to be able to do it with others, and we want to be able to do it with ourselves. And how do we change the world? You start with ourselves. Like, what's going on, you know? How am I going to change Washington, D.C.? No, I'm going to change myself. And together we're going to change ourselves. And we're going to relate to each other differently. That's going to change the world. It's not going to change out there. It's going to change in here. Because we are the reason Hashem made the world. Inner space is the inner being that we are, is the reason He made the world. The whole world is just a stage for us. If so, then we are the main reason. And therefore the main change will be in us. And then the stage will change. Yes?
So when you were speaking before about Shachor and Na'ava, so first you brought examples of change, like from a regular day to Shabbat, from a weekday to Yom Kippur. The last 3 examples, there was no change in the context.
Right.
I was thinking that the first 2 examples refer, when you're looking at a person, you can't see the good in them, when you see them in a different context, so then you can get a different angle. But the second level is higher, because you're able from perceiving from within yourself, even though the context hasn't changed. This is my idea.
It's awesome. It's great. It's exactly. What's your name?
Miriam Gabai.
Miriam
So
Gabai,
then
right.
the second level, already within himself, he is finding the wherewithal, even though the person hasn't changed their context, but he has the wherewithal to see the positive in them.
And this is something you really have to be with. You have to sit with this. This teaching which becomes a Zamra, the repeat, is that...
No, you should want to repeat. They want her to repeat it.
So
But no. Let Rabbi Sutton say, because he has the microphone.
Yeah.
The first examples that we gave of I'm dark during the 6 days of the week and I'm beautiful on Shabbat, those are like a change of context, and so therefore it's something, but it's nothing compared to the other ones. I was dark in Egypt. I was beautiful in Egypt. I was dark at Sinai. I was beautiful at Sinai. It's within the same context that I found the goodness within myself, and I was able to transform it. And so the point is that it's even more powerful that way. Did I miss it?
Yeah, no, that too. I was just saying looking at others, but it can be applied to looking at your goodness in yourself or in others. That even though the context hasn't changed, you...
Face the audience now.
Sorry.
Okay. Yes.
Even though the context hasn't changed, do you have the wherewithal? It can be vis-a-vis yourself, to see the goodness in yourself, or vis-a-vis seeing the goodness in others, whereas before you could only judge them or criticize them.
Thank you.
Yes.
How can you how can you overcome when a person that is a very
Religious?
religious, a rabbi, a personality in the community, ruin the life of another person, and the person that received the bath from that rabbi, how can he ever forgive, and how can he calm down himself? He has to calm down for his own good, okay? But how can you ever come to judge in a positive way that person that did to you so much harm?
Very important question. Thank you. So, I'll give you the answer that came to me. we say on Yom Kippur, and it became incorporated into our. I need 3 minutes for this.